Hi everybody, today I'm going to demonstrate my superpower abilities, and let me demonstrate it right now. Hood, lift. Very nice. I'm going to close it with my thought. I'm going to think really hard, and now go down, go down, go down. Beautiful. This car can read my thoughts. It's amazing. All right, let's get serious here. First of all, I want to tell you that I really like this product. This is just off the bat. This is exactly what I wanted the car to have by default from factory. Now, Hansshow did send it to me free of charge to do the review and to show you how to install it yourself if you want to. I will include a 20% coupon in the description, so the price should be more tolerable. And I will include all the tools that I've used in the description. One of my disappointments with this car is that Tesla decided not to include a motorized frunk. And I believe they should have used the money that they spent on the back reclining seats and given us the motorized frunk. But luckily, in this case, we have an aftermarket solution that works really well. So before we move on to the installation part of this video, I just wanted to share with you what I thought about the installation. The installation took me about 3 to 4 hours, and I'm sure that a professional could probably knock this out in about an hour to 90 minutes. So one, if you are not good with your hands, you're not technical, I would say give it to somebody else in your area to install it. Somebody that does these accessories for the car. Two, if you are technical, this should not be a problem. I'm just an average guy and I was able to install it, but I do like to tinker with stuff, so bear that in mind. Hopefully the installation part of this video will help you install it, because I think having a video as a reference is really, really helpful. And if you do have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. I do have a little request before we move on with the video. If you could do me a big favor and click that like button, that would help a lot. And not only for me, but for people who are looking for an installation video for the motorized frunk. So thank you so much. And also, if you want to see videos just like this in the future, click that subscribe button and the notification bell. So without further ado, enjoy the installation video. All right, so this is how the kit comes in. It comes with this nice box. Everything is neatly organized here. And let's go over what it comes with. It comes with a few Ziplocs. It comes with this actuator. And this basically is what pulls the hood in and gets it locked into the original Tesla lock. A nut and 2 screws. Comes with a few cables like this. There's also a little speaker that gets you the sound when the hood opens and closes. Comes with a controller. Comes with a fishing line that probably you don't need. This I'm not so sure. I've never seen this used anywhere. Comes with the brackets that replace the hooks on the body. And it comes with the motorized struts that are height sensing. And they also have sensing to know if something is blocking the hood. So not only do they have the sensor to detect if something is obstructing the hood so that you don't get pinched, but it also has the height sensing. So this way you can set the height of the hood. Say you have a low garage, you can set it to let it how high you want it to go. All right, so that's it for that. Now, let me just do a little explanation about the actuator here. This is nothing special. This is probably a shelf item that is used in other cars, but it was adapted to be used in this system because they shouldn't invent the wheel. They're just picking up parts that exist in the automotive world. Now, one thing I would recommend is to fix this very well to the car. The reason you want to fix the actuator really well to the car is because it includes an emergency pulley right here. And what this does, it basically disengages the wire that pulls the hood, right? And lets it move freely. This way you don't get the hood locked in the bottom position with no way to release it. Okay. So it's very important that you not only put this where I show you in the front of the car, but also that this one is physically attached to the car. So when you yank it, it doesn't just move. Now that's really for emergency case only. And this will only help you in case this goes bad and not if the Tesla actuator goes bad. All right. So I separated the bundle of wires, right? So this is one bundle of wire. This is the speaker, and this is the fused positive terminal that goes and connects to your battery. Okay. So good thing that it's fused. You have to have this fused. Now, the two brackets that come in the kit are labeled. You see left and right, and left and right is always in the perspective of the driver. Okay, so the first step is to remove all this plastic covering and the tub. The tub uses 10 mil sockets. Should be pretty self-explanatory. Would be nice to have some pry tools help to get underneath here. Okay, got it out. Now, they use these clips. It's really simple. Just use nice, sharp forces and they'll come out. So next we'll do the tub. Okay, 4 screws and it should be able to come out. We have to remove this. And basically what it has 1, 2, 3 clips here. So it goes like this and out, okay? Let me see if I can do it. It's this one. See, you see those 3 clips? Okay, and it just comes out. And then this, you just pull out. This is the most trickiest part here. But you just pull it out. Here we go. So there's 2 indents on the side. Just pull it out, okay? You can leave this in the tub like this. Now we'll take the tub out. Next step is to remove the HEPA filter. So those are 10 mil too. And you don't have to use an electric impact driver or whatever. You can even use a ratchet, but this is quicker, so I'll do it this way. Okay. And I suggest putting all these either back in the tub or screw them back to where they were. In fact, I might just do that. So we'll take this whole thing. Now that's the HEPA filter. And really, if you don't want to lose track of screws, you could just screw them back to where they originally came out. Okay, so that's 1. And that's 2. Next, we're going to remove the shock struts from the car. Let me show you where they are. right there. There's two options, really. One is to bring a small wrench, open-sided wrench, and to just unbolt that. For this section, you need to use a small screwdriver to remove the spring that holds it. All right, so I'm going to show you after the fact how the spring looks like, because this is too tight to show. But before you do that, you have to prop the hood, okay? So let's get something to prop the hood so it doesn't fall on us. I found a broom that has a telescopic handle. This should do perfect for this. All right, so I put the broom there, all the way to there, and try to put some weight on it, see if it collapses, but this seems to be holding it just fine. The hood is very light, by the way, because it's made out of aluminum. So let's go ahead and remove the struts. This is really, really tight. Since the access here is pretty tight, I would recommend also removing this tab. I'll show you next, just so that there's a little more flexibility here to move your hand. You can use either a flat screwdriver or one of these tools. All right, so the next step really is to remove the struts, and you can use picks like this to see if you can get access to it. Took that out. Now hopefully we can unscrew it with the hand. Okay, and it's out. Make sure you save this somewhere safe. Now let me show you the clips here. So basically I used this pick to come under here and to pull it out. Okay, here you go. You see how it's being pulled out? And basically that's a spring, and when you pull it out, it releases the bowl that's in the hood. Okay, the same bowl here. Okay, this is the same concept. And here the access is from here. See, like that. Okay, but I think it's simply easier to use an open-ended wrench and to remove it like this. So I'm just going to put it back. Now do the same thing on the other side. All right, so now the next step is to install the brackets. Each bracket comes with a screw, X screw. Grab the right one. This says left, so this would be on this side, because in cars, you always have the left, right in the perspective of the driver. So don't lose this screw. I think that's the hardest part, not to lose anything here. All right, so left side. We'll take the screw and we'll start tightening it by hand first. All right, so that's where it is. And I basically tightened this by hand and then go the rest of the way with the tool. And if you have big hands, it just makes it harder. All right, so now the next step is to put the motorized struts inside. The cable goes down. You should orient it where the top one faces here and the bottom one faces to the outside of the car. Okay, these rotate, okay? So you can rotate them to get to the right orientation. And then these use the same type of system where you take it out. So pry it out and make sure that you can press it. Use a flat screwdriver. And while you're at it, do the top one too. Okay, that entered. And then the other side. All right, so now we have to basically remove this. The thing is, we have to make sure that this part goes exactly where it is. So one way to do it is put some painter's tape here and mark where it is. Another one is to use chalk paint. I think I'm going to use painter's tape. So we'll take some painter's tape and we'll put it exactly at the lines. Okay, so here. And if you notice here, there's markings. So also make sure that you take a photo of the marking. Okay, just in case. The thing is that the whatever we're adding will go over it. So that's why we need the painter's tape. And these are 10 mils too. Next, we take this assembly. Okay, the assembly is going to go like this. From the bottom. And what we need to do is just position them like this, and then remove this part like that, so you can get to the underside of this. Okay, so just get it under and get the loop over the top, and then put it back together. Okay. And now we can attach both of them back using the same screw. Okay. All right, so I made sure that the markings are the way they were before. I made sure that the tape matches the other side, because it's this bracket, the new bracket, is going over the markings. So just make sure that everything is nice and tight. I wouldn't tighten too much because this is plastic, but it does need to be nice and snug. So I will only take one of these small hand ratchets and tighten it. You don't have much torque with this, so that's why you should use small ones. Now the next step is to connect all the wires. All right, now before we disconnect this cable, I'm going to turn off the car, and that's through the inside of the car through the menu. All right, so now I can disconnect this plug. Okay, just to explain what's going on here, when this bracket, the one that we added, detects that the hood hits this, it activates a micro switch there. See the micro switch here? And that basically tells the device to start pulling this in to suck the hood in. So now we have to tackle the cables. We can remove the prop. And now we have a little more space here. We're going to start with D8 like this. Oops, like this. And push in the gray button. Then we connect the original one to it. Okay. Next, we're going to look for D7. And this is a good time to untangle these cables so that they're not tangled. The D7 will go into the latch that we just installed. Okay, so just make sure that it's in the right orientation. I mean, I can't go in the wrong orientation, but it's a good thing to take it in the right orientation first. Okay, so it's this way. And it latched. Next, we're going to disconnect the control clip from the hood latch actuator. And D6 would be the one to do that. So this is D6. Let's make sure that everything is untangled. Yes. And this clip is a little different. You need to come up from the top with a little bit of a screwdriver, lift it, and disconnect it. Okay. So you disconnect it, put the D6 in. Okay. And then the pass through back to the original one. Okay. Okay. Make sure it clicks. Next, we're going to come to the front of the car. Okay. And we're going to press on this corner to open this latch. Okay. And if it doesn't open easily, press harder. All right, so we got it out. Okay. This is, by the way, where you're going to jump start the car if the 12 volt or 16 volt battery dies. Okay, so let's bring the emergency cable to that section right there. Okay, again, pull it out. Okay, we fished the emergency cable from here. So now let's take the D5 plug, untangle it, get it from the main harness so it's untangled. Okay, and connect it to here. And go like this. Make sure it clicks. Next, we're going to position the controller box. And by the way, when you receive it, make sure that this says the correct model, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to first put the double-sided tape on this, right like that. I would recommend putting it on this side. So it's a tight fit, but it will get to right here. Like this. You see how it's like there? And what's nice about this section is that you can reach the button, the programming button. So now is the time to connect the actuators. And we got D4 and D3. And it really doesn't matter which one goes which. So let's connect this cable. 1, 2. Now for the other side, we're going to have to use the extension cord, which is this. So we'll connect this and this. I decided that it's best if this cable came from there all the way here and through here. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so let's go from here. So as you can see, I fished this. So now we can take electrical tape and basically attach this to here. Okay, this way we can fish it easily. Not too much, you don't need too much. All right, so let's do that. Okay. And now we can remove the fishing wire. It's nice of them to give us one. So then that will go around here, around there like this, right like that. And it will connect to this. Click and click. Next we'll connect the buzzer, and the buzzer will go into D2. Okay, so D2, click. Okay, and now it's time to connect the power. This basically comes out like that, see? And what we're gonna do is connect this U-shaped thingy using the nut that was provided. And this nut is a size 13. So first put the nut, and then once it's close, and then just tighten it. Put that red thing back. Next, we need to connect the ground. So let's look for the ground garnet. And here it is. Again, I would recommend untangling it. Okay, we got a ground right here. So let's undo that. And that's a 10 mil. Okay, and it doesn't need to open all the way, just a little so we can put the grommet. Okay. So now that we have almost everything connected, we got the controller that needs to be still connected. Okay, so let's connect the controller. All right, now that the controller is connected, we can connect the emergency release button. So now all that's left to do is connect the positive. And again, make sure that all the cables are not tangled. Okay, we go like this. Now we should be ready to test this thing out. All right, so now everything is connected. We got the emergency cable ready just in case something doesn't work. We're gonna also try it out first where we stop it in the middle just to make sure that that function works. And let me turn on the car. What I'm going to do is press the emergency button. And this is coming down, and let's stop it. And yeah, it comes down. So let's try it again. Cool. So what happens is you can still manually use the trunk. And now let's do the test completely. Beautiful. All right, so now let me demonstrate it from the app. Cool. And now let's click it again. You can also do it from the inside. So click and it opens. And then click again and it closes. Very nice. At this point, we are ready to tuck and zip tie everything including removing the tape on the controller so we can stick it to the body. And again, you want to be able to access that button. This way you can program it for the speed and how high it goes. So now for the puller, we need to put it somewhere. And you can bring it from around here, just like this. Let me show you up close. You want it to be on the metal bracket, not on the cable. See how the zip tie goes in this bracket, but underneath the emergency cable, okay? So now all that we need to do is tidy up everything here and zip tie the cables to clear the tub. The speaker has a tape and you can glue it to the side there. So now just methodically go ahead and zip tie this thing. All right, so the next step is to take the emergency cable and to zip tie it to the grommet. Okay. Now the next step would be to cut the excess zip ties. So right now we can just put everything back. Everything is nicely zip tied. Everything is nicely secured. Forget that we put these two screws here so we don't forget them. All right, let's get the tub in. Make sure that we got the cable from there. Okay. Now don't do what I did. I forgot to install the HEPA filter. So now I have to take everything out and put it back in. Let's put back the HEPA filter and just verify it by hand. Let's test it out for the last time. It says that it's opened. I'll click on it. Beautiful. And again. Nice. All right, people. If you like this video and this was helpful for you, don't forget to thumb up. If you like to see other content just like this, don't forget to subscribe, click that notification bell, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. I really like this solution. This is going to make me use the frunk quite a lot more. So again, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next video.